Our readings today give us a great imagery of love and commitment from the book of Ruth, which we don't hear much from, but the book of Ruth committing herself to Naomi, and both of them leaving security together to go to the new country in that great line, "Your people will be my people, and I will journey with you." That sense of love and commitment we see in Jesus' words in the gospel about the golden rule: total self-giving, total dedication. And that indeed is what the sacrament of marriage is based upon, that understanding of self-sacrifice, self-giving, and self-emptying. Way back when, a German theologian, whose name was Herbert Doms — you don't often hear about Herbert Doms at all — he came up with the meaning of marriage as the mutual self-giving of one person to another in freedom for a lifetime. And that was his dissertation from the Greg in Rome back in the 1800s. And he got in trouble for that because he never mentioned children in the definition of marriage. And so instead of teaching Korea, he went up to the mountains in Germany and was a great pastor for his entire priesthood. Vatican Council II rolls around, the great bishops writing the documents of Vatican Council II, and the pastoral constitution of the church in the modern world talks about the meaning of marriage in paragraph number 48. And it says, the meaning of marriage is the mutual self-giving of one person to another for a lifetime in freedom. CF, the footnote says, look up Herbert Doms' meaning of marriage. Sometimes it takes a while for the church to accept a teaching, to see the clear insight. Ruth and Naomi recognized commitment, self-giving, self-emptying. Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew is trying to remind the scholars of the law that, no, don't get lost in the 613 definitions and codicils about the 10 Commandments. Keep it simple. Love God, total commitment. Love neighbor, total commitment. In poker, not many of you play poker probably, but in poker there's a line, "I'm all in." You push all your money into the table and say, "I'm all in." Sometimes we have to do that with our relationship with God. In the vows and the promises that we've made, I'm all in. No thought of safety nets, no thought of what ifs. I'm all in. Ruth and Naomi said that to one another. Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew is trying to teach us that same understanding. Don't get lost in all of the interpretations of the commandments, but be all in loving God and loving neighbor. Today, when we see so much turmoil in the world, maybe we need to look at the 8th commandment again. The 8th commandment that actually says, bear no false witness against one's neighbor. If we say as a church all people are created in God's image and likeness, then anything that takes away from that dignity is a sin. In fact, the 8th commandment also talks about an act of calumny, that you take away from someone's good reputation, someone's good name. And so today, maybe we need to redefine the 8th commandment and see it as a call to respect all peoples that are created in God's image and likeness, to respect all people as having that inherent dignity of the divine. As we celebrate this Mass, let us think of being all in our faith, all in to love, all in to commitment, and see that mutual self-giving of one person to another for a lifetime in freedom. It should be our relationship with God and our relationship with those that we love. Self-emptying, self-giving, and that understanding of sacrificing for the other. That's what Jesus was talking about in the Golden Rule, to think of the other. That's what Ruth and Naomi did with one another. That self-emptying, self-giving, that sense of freedom giving of oneself to the other for a lifetime. As we live out our faith in the world, let us indeed be all in with our faith and relationship with Jesus and our commitment to serve our neighbors. Let us be all in.